Marlon Wayans, I love you, but I think the critics were right on this one. It's not a good movie. You know what that means. We're talking about Scary Movie 6, the new movie in the franchise we all know and love. The Wayans brothers are back. And is that enough to make Scary Movie good again? We're going to talk about it, but if you guys don't know who I am Ant. I am your average movie reviewer on YouTube. I am not like a critic. I'm not going to pick a movie apart just because of one simple thing. I'm not going to look into deep film methods. We will touch on that a little bit, but I'm not going to focus on film methods that determine if a movie is good or not. I am just an average movie reviewer on YouTube, and I think that's what makes me a great film critic-ish guy on YouTube. So that way you guys should subscribe because I give average opinions. I came in with high expectations for Scary Movie 6. I was very, very excited about this film. But as they continue to send out more and more trailers showing us more and more of this film, my expectations started to go down a little bit because I'm like, okay, this movie can't be that long. They're showing a lot of this movie. I think a lot of the stuff that they're showing is going to be 90% of the movie, and then we're not going to have much to munch on and enjoy when the film comes out. And I wasn't very far off. This movie did kind of meet my expectations, not where I was when it was at the high point, but kind of when I was at the midpoint. It is a very mid scary movie, and that's okay because it is still somewhat enjoyable if you enjoy the other Scary Movie films. We'll get more into that as I continue this video talking about why it's more mid and not, the biggest scary movie of the year, of which they were trying to make it seem like it was the biggest scary movie of the franchise, not of the year. But I don't really think that's what this is. So if you guys are new to the Scary Movie franchise, let me explain what Scary Movie is and what Scary Movie 6 is. Scary Movie 6 and the Scary Movie franchise is a parody film that takes a bunch of your favorite scary movies of, the recent years and makes them into a parody and makes them funny and enjoyable and kind of just makes fun of them and makes fun of themselves and makes fun of society and a whole. And it's just a fun parody film. So if you like that kind of edgy comedy and you kind of like that, parody stuff from the following, the earlier scary movies, things like that, you will get some enjoyment out of this. This film did give me a little bit of a chuckle here and there. A lot of the, skits and parodies that they do in this film do give me a little bit of a chuckle. So if you did enjoy the previous scary movies and you enjoy, those comedy skits and parody movies like that, you will get some enjoyment out of this film. So let's talk about the pros in this film. It's going to be a little difficult to kind of make a review that has pros and not more cons for this movie. And it kind of sucks because it's a movie that I genuinely want to like. I do enjoy the Scary Movie franchise, but let's talk about some of the pros before we get into some of the cons. The pros, we do get a lot of our actors that we enjoy back from the original Scary Movies. We've got Marlon Wayans, we've got Shawn Wayans, we've got, Anna Faris, we've got, I'm really blanking on her name, but the actress who plays Brenda. And then we do have some, cool new characters to add to the film and the franchise, possibly in the future, which is fun. But it doesn't do enough to get you interested in this film, and that's bad. Some of the comedy skits as well are pretty solid and funny, but there's not enough as well to keep you interested, and I think that's really it. There are good comedy skits in this, and there are returning actors and actresses that we enjoy, but other than that, there's not much to this film. So with that being said, let's talk about the cons. The comedy skits, like I said, there are good comedy skits, but there are a lot of just corny, bad comedy skits. This film tries really, really hard to be like the original Scary Movies. They try to get you invested in that nostalgia bait that you want to feel from enjoying the previous Scary Movies. And it does reuse some of the old jokes from those films. Not only does it reuse some of those jokes, it tries to bring in some new jokes that just aren't that funny. And this movie really doesn't have a consistent plot like some of those previous and most of those previous Scary Movie films. The critics on YouTube and the people who are reviewing it really hit the nail on the head when they said this just feels like a YouTube compilation video of funny moments from Scary Movie films or a YouTube compilation of SNL skits. It really does feel like a movie that's full of just random skits that make you giggle. I mean, no scene is longer than a few minutes at most, and then we just move on to the next, whatever the next skit is. And it's fine because these skits are funny, but for a full-fledged movie, it's just not enjoyable. But if there is another pro that I didn't touch on, it is that the cast had fun. You can see that the returning cast and everybody who's in this film does have a good time poking fun at society, poking fun at scary movies, and just having a good time. And I think that does bring some more enjoyment to audience and to the fans of the scary movie franchise, because you have those returning characters, you have new characters, and you just have everybody having a blast and just goofing around and goofing off. And that's what makes these scary movies so fun. But just goofing around and goofing off and not really bringing anything of substance isn't going to make a good movie. So I usually do a standout moment of the film. We're going to kind of skip that because it's just a movie filled with comedy skits. There's not really a lot of standout moments, but I will give you, like, I guess it is kind of like a standout moment. I'll just kind of give you my favorite skit of the film, and then you guys can let me know down below what your favorite skit in this film was, because there are a lot of funny, decent ones. Now, I really don't know if I have just one single, funny moment or funny skit from Scary Movie 6 that I enjoyed. I think there was one character that I kind of just really enjoyed when he was on the screen, kind of, having a good time and having, that nostalgia that we liked from this character. And I think that character was Ray. Ray, every time he made, a stupid gay joke about being, gay Ray, it was really funny, it was enjoyable, and it made me giggle. And I think just Ray is one of the outstanding characters of this film that really, you need to focus on when you're watching this film, because he is probably one of the funnier ones in this film. So I really don't think I have a standout moment. I just think of all of Gay Ray's stupid gay jokes that really just made me giggle. So let's talk about Ant's 3 big questions. Would I watch it again? Would I recommend it? And is it going to be better on streaming or in theaters? I would probably watch this again, but I would not go to theaters to see this again. I would probably watch it at home with people. I went and seen this alone. And, we did have, it wasn't a packed theater, but there were maybe 6 or 7, sorry, my bad, people in the theater, and they all were, giggling and having a good time and kind of chatting amongst the people that they brought and having a good time, because it is a scary movie film, and it's meant to, just be enjoyable. So I would watch it again, probably with family members at home. But would I recommend it? If you enjoyed the previous scary movies and you think this one's going to be like that, I don't think you really need to watch this one as much, unless they continue to do more and those kind of connect to this one, which I really don't think they will, because, all the scary movies are kind of separated in their own little, making fun of other movies bubble. And I just really don't think it's worth recommending to people. I would just recommend, hey, go check out the other scary movies, the ones that we all enjoy, 1, 2, and maybe 3. And then after that, those ones kind of aren't as good. But yeah, I just think if I'm going to recommend, I just recommend going back to the other scary movies. And then my last question that I always ask is it going to be better on streaming or in theaters? I think they hyped this up as a theater experience, and it really wasn't a good theater experience. I do think this film would have actually been more beneficial had it come out on just a straight to streaming platform, because it's just a compilation of, parodies of other movies and skits somewhat. So I really do think this is a movie that would have benefited from just coming out onto streaming, and I really don't think it's worth going to theater and paying money, especially if you're going to bring family members. It's not worth paying, an arm and a leg for movie tickets. So with that being said, I gave this a 2.5 stars on Letterboxd, just because it does have a couple of skits that make me giggle, but it tries way too hard to be nostalgia bait, make you enjoy this film like you enjoyed the previous films, and it's just not doing enough to be like the previous films. It's trying too hard to be funny. So guys, you guys let me know down below, what was your favorite comedy skit or parody in this movie? And did you guys enjoy this one, or did you guys enjoy some of the other ones before it better? Other than that, guys, I will see you in the next movie review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.